GSX-R time again. This one's sort of expanded a little bit. As I've been working through it, I've started finding a few extra bits that needed sorting. One of which was the fact that when I went to do the motor oil analysis to check what that was in, I realised the oil was full of petrol. There was like 1.5 litres of petrol in the oil, and the only place that comes from is either a dicky vacuum fuel tap on the fuel tank, and really as well it would need to have dodgy float valves in the carburetors. So it did look like the carburetors had some work done, but maybe things have happened after each other. But just to belt and braces it, I've got fresh oil filter, a fresh vacuum repair kit for the vacuum tap so that it won't leak, and a full set of carb float bowl gaskets and needles. So those little bits come in. I've also got a big stash of parts. I've got some Hell brake lines to put on it as well, because it has rubber brake lines. You can't be having rubber brake hoses. First job, change them to braided ones. So yeah, we've got some fancy Hell brake hoses for it, and I think that's it, hopefully. And with a bit of luck, if I get all those bits done, we'll be able to ride it and make brum noises. That is what today's target is. So a little stash of parts here. We've got racing oil filter. If you ever buying oil filters, if you order these racing ones from High Flow Filtro, they come with, which I really like, a little nut on the end of them, which makes them much easier to put on and take off than having to have a million different right size oil filter wrenches. So also the racing one has a hole through it, which means you can lock wire it easily, stop it undoing. So quite like them. And we've got a new regulator rectifier, because I did the whole charging system check on it, and I've got power out of the generator. I've got power going into the regulator rectifier, but not coming out. And I made a load of bypass leads. I directly wired it to the battery, did all the tricks, still wasn't having it. There's every chance that despite it being a new reg rec, it's been a cheap knocked off one off eBay, and I've bought cheap ones and they've been fine, and I've also bought cheap ones and they've been broken the minute I tried to use them. So Electrics World are kind of the go-to place for good quality reg recs in the UK. They come with replacement connectors as well, because if your reg rec's gone, usually the connector's fried. And they're actually mega. I just give them a ring and say, I've got one of these bikes, can I have a thing? And they send me a thing, which is good. I think that was, there we go, I got a list of parts here. And then all of the gasket kits, look at those. Otto, they're named after the bloke who drives the bus in The Simpsons. So if everyone's wondering what he got up to when he finished, motorbike spares, he saw the light. So yeah, big pile of bits, and there should be a float bolt repair kit. Sorry, not float bolt, fuel tap repair kit there as well. So that will hopefully stop our fuel leak. What's that last one? Sump plug washer. New sump plug washer. And then a snazzy set of Hell brake lines. Doesn't technically need these, but I thought we'd fit them anyway, because they look nice, and Hell are a sponsor of Bike World, so why not fit them? And again, this bike is a perfect first track bike, and if you fit these, the brakes will be nice. If you leave the squishy flexy rubber ones on that are now 20 years old, the brakes won't be so nice. So I'm going to stick them on to help with track stuff. My bill at the moment, where did I get to? So the regulator rectifier, these are all kind of trade prices. So it came to 144 quid for fuel tap repair kit, regulator rec, sump plugs, oil filters, all that stuff. At not trade, when I worked it out, it was just under 200 quid. So I'm probably just going to put 200 quid on the accounts officially, because not everybody has a trade account. But 200 quid for all those bits, not including Hell brake lines. I haven't got a price for them, because Hell sent us them for free. So I'll work out a price of them, add them to the list, and then we'll know what the profits are when we get it done. Okay, motorbike fixing. Next little job is oil. Last time we were fiddling with it, we fitted the new battery, and they cranked it and it wouldn't crank over. Made like a weird quite a tight sump plug that. It made like a weird noise. So we were a bit confused with that, and then when I checked the oil, it was full of petrol. So I think it just had so much oil and fuel in it, it didn't want to turn over. So for that reason, that's why we're doing all the work on the carburetor and the fuel tap. And now I'm just going to change this oil. It also meant we couldn't really do the motor oil analysis because I don't need a motor oil analysis to know that that oil is full of petrol. Just need to have a nose. But yeah, we'll drop the oil out and you'll probably be able to see how runny it is. So you wouldn't want to run it like this. I think I did notice, there we go. I did notice when I was working on it that the fuel tap seemed to leak a little bit. And I think, yeah, proving the point, it leaks a lot. As you can see by that oil that looks like water. Bearing in mind that oil is stone cold. The plot thickens. It's always a bit of a thing when you come to a bike that somebody else has been tinkering with. I've just had this float bowl off. Pleased to see they all look super clean. You can also see they've been off recently. You can see some marks on the screw heads, so they've been taken apart already. And when I took them off, they had brand new float valves in all of them, and new gaskets. So somebody has already seen this problem and fixed it there. So I'm going to put it back together now. I'm happy that those are all good. I checked the float valves for the working and sealing it off, which they are. And then Evan, who you've seen floating around in the background, pointed out that if the vacuum tap is playing up and has a leak in it, and the fuel is getting into the vacuum part of the tap, the fuel could actually be running from the fuel tap straight into the engine through the vacuum pipe, which is quite likely because for the fuel to get past the carburetor into the engine, it would have to overflow through the floats, and then the carburetors have an overflow built into them, so it'd have to go past that as well. So it's a lot of things for it to do, which should stop this happening. So I suspect, Evan's theory is right, I suspect it's gone through the fuel tap on the tank. I'll have a check, see if that can be the case. But either way, I'm happy the float valves are sorted on the engine, on the carburetors, sorry. So I can put those back on the engine, put the airbox back on, and have a look at the fuel tank. So this little culprit, I think, is possibly the root of our problem. So this has two outlets. One is a fuel outlet, well, one's actually a vacuum. Is a vacuum one an inlet or an outlet? I don't know. Anyway, so when the engine's running, the vacuum draw through the inlet of the engine sucks on this pipe and opens the valve, which then lets fuel pass through. So it's like a fuel tap basically, rather than having the old turn it on, turn it off on the side. And then when the engine's not running, this should spring shut and stop any fuel going into the engine. It's kind of a good way of stopping them flooding the engine with petrol. Good way of stopping them pouring fuel out if they get knocked over, all that stuff. And I think this must be the culprit. And I remember when I first took this apart, it did whittle fuel out everywhere. So let's have a look, stick that up a little bit higher. So I'm going to replace the seals in this, and hopefully that's going to solve our problems. Okay, fuel tap stripped and rebuilt, new, just checking, new diaphragm and seals and whatnots. Filled it with whatnots. It still leaked a bit then, so I took it apart again, made sure I cleaned everything and made sure everything was tidy in it. And I also gave the spring a bit of a extra preload, and it's now not leaking and it's pumping fuel. So that's fixed for now. No, I'm pretty sure that was it. Happy with that. So I've solved that problem. Carb's done. I can now put some fresh oil in it. I just wanted to make sure so I've cranked it over a couple of times just to make sure it's not going to, the fuel pump's not going to blow any fuel out. So I'm pretty happy with that now. So I'm going to put some fresh oil filter, get it all built back up. Then I can change the regulator rectifier, press the button, make sure it's charging, go for a ride. Fit new brake lines. We got this. We're looking pretty good. Oil and filter done, fuel leak resolved, carburetors unnecessarily taken apart and put back together, and a big pile of parts that I didn't need left on the bench, depressingly. Regulator rectifier replaced, and a direct wire, or a set of direct wires straight to the battery from the positive and negative of the Reggie Rec run, because we were still having a few intermittent problems, and that is on an older bike like this, a really good way to bypass those sorts of issues is just wire it straight to the battery. So done that with a little patch lead in the plug, so it's all nicely done and taped up and looks legit. Bearings all bolted back on. Had a little nut and bolt check under there. Everything's looking pretty good. Seats back on, and then our final job, it actually runs lovely as well now. I had it fired up, so pleased with that. Final job now is chuck on a snazzy set of Hell brake lines and then take it for a ride. So I'm going to do the rubbish get covered in brake fluid bit. And it's never fun. Never fun dealing with brake fluid and fork oil. Just making such a mess. But the results are worth it. So, new lines, new fittings. Here we go. Don't forget to do the special pour of the sponsored mechanic. Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, GSX-R it's done. It's ready to go. I've got fresh oil, fresh filter, new reg rec, rewired that so that we've got good connection to the battery now. It's got a brand new battery from Yuasa. It's got Hell braided hoses on it, bled all the brakes up so the brakes are good. It's got brand new tyres. There's a few marks and scuffs over the bodywork, some scratches on the side panel there, but I mean, there's lots of these out there, and I would say the majority of them have got scratches on. It's that kind of bike, I think. But at the moment, I think that's a good, sweet running bike. I'm going to put 12 months MOT on it and take it for another proper test ride myself because I want to ride it. But yeah, then it's up for sale. And I think I've had a look, depending on condition, mileage. I've seen a couple at like low sort of 2.3 with a few scratches, but actually really nice. And I've seen a couple at 1800 with loads of scratches. And I mean, I think what a fair price would probably be 1750 quid, which I think is what I'm going to advertise this at. It blows my mind that a GSX-R600 S-Rad is only worth between 1500 quid and 2 grand. Like, even the super nice ones aren't worth over 3, which I think is it's mad because it's such a lot of bike for the money. But I think this one, given the condition it's in, with the scratches, but balancing that with how much work it's had done and the brand new tyres, loads of bits pieces done all over it, I think 1750 quid is a good number. So, money wise, well, I've spent 800 quid buying it, and then I've spent £450 on it, which was obviously regular rectifier. I bought that full carby rebuild kit, which I didn't need, but I got to pay for that. So, and also did a new airbox, which I bought for it, and a few other bits and pieces, and then obviously the MOT. So we have managed to sneak the price up to 450 quid pence, which is 1250 quid. So again, at 1750 quid, I can make another 500 quid, which just edges us slowly towards the goal, which is the Ducati 916. We're not going to get there overnight, but yeah, as long as we go forwards, that is the win. So if you want a lovely GSX-R600 S-Rad, hit me up. I'm sure we can chuck in a bike or t-shirt to sweeten the deal. And then it's on to the next.